Okay, so we're going to jump right in today and talk about children's books.
Okay.
And specifically, we're going to be taking a deep dive into Flinders the Reluctant Hero.
Okay.
So you're looking for a book for a child, between 5 and 10, and you want to make sure it's engaging and age appropriate and maybe even sneaks in a little bit of learning.
Yeah, it's a tall order, right? Trying to find that perfect balance where you don't want it to be too simple,
Right.
but you don't want to overwhelm them either.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where Flinders comes in.
Okay.
So we've got excerpts from the book. We've got the Amazon listing. We have a ton of reviews from parents, teachers, even kids themselves.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So by the end of this deep dive, you'll have a really good sense of if this book is right for the young reader in your life.
It's like having a whole team of advisors in your pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why don't we start by meeting our hero, Flinders.
Okay.
He is a guinea pig who lives on a sailboat.
Wait a minute, a guinea pig on a sailboat? That's brilliant. I love it already.
Oh, it's great. It's so funny. And he is absolutely terrified of water.
Of course he is.
Which, makes for some pretty funny situations given his living arrangement.
Yeah.
And it's something that, a lot of kids can relate to, that fear of the unknown.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
It's a really great way to introduce that concept of it's okay to be afraid.
Right.
But, facing your fears can lead to incredible discoveries.
And Flinders does a lot of discovering.
Yeah.
He even learns to read, which actually becomes crucial to the plot.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of plot, one of the things that really stood out to me in the reviews was how much parents appreciated the age appropriateness of the content.
Yeah.
So there's adventure problem solving, and these really positive themes like courage and communication are woven throughout.
Yeah, those early chapter books are really tricky because you have to keep those newly independent readers hooked.
Right.
But not overwhelm them. It sounds like Flinders strikes a really good balance.
It does, and here's where it gets even more interesting. Okay, this book is not just a fun story.
Uh-huh.
It also connects to real-world knowledge about sailing geography,
Yeah.
even indigenous Australian culture.
Oh, wow.
So it's like this sneaky learning expedition disguised as a delightful adventure.
I love that.
Yeah.
It reminds me how kids learn best through experience.
Yeah.
It's not just, giving them facts,
Yeah,
but like showing them those facts play out in a story
exactly.
they're invested in.
Yeah, and that's not all.
Okay.
Flinders also has this fantastic online resource, the Flinders Fan Club.
Oh, fun.
It's completely free. It's packed with printables, activities, even more information related to the book. So it really extends that learning and,
Yeah.
gives kids something to do after they finish reading.
Right.
Which, let's be honest, is a huge win for parents.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And it addresses that, what next problem
Right.
that so many parents face. Instead of reaching for a screen, the kids can dive deeper into the world of the book and continue that learning and keep it fun and engaging.
Yeah. Okay, but let's hear what actual readers are saying.
Okay.
Sharon, a parent who reviewed the book on Amazon, said it was right up there with Enid Blyton's stories.
Wow.
Pretty high praise.
I praise for a reason.
Right.
Enid Blyton is a classic.
Yes.
And her books captured the imaginations of generations of children. So to be compared to her work means that, Flinders has that same timeless appeal.
Yeah.
That ability to transport readers to another world.
Absolutely. And we're seeing similar sentiments across the board.
Really?
From parents, kids, and even teachers.
That's great.
G. McCormack, a teacher, actually commented, "My student loves this book."
What I love about that is that teachers see firsthand what engages young readers.
Yes.
They know what books spark those aha moments.
Right.
And foster that love of reading.
Totally.
So to have a teacher come out and say their student loves this book,
Yeah.
that speaks volumes.
It does. Another reader, Barb Always, who read Flinders with her grandchild, commented, "The book is charming, humorous, intriguing, and adventurous." She even mentions a scene where Flinders uses bits of newspaper and, well, let's just say poo to communicate with Sandy.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it also speaks to the book's humor.
Yes.
And its ability to capture the unique way that kids see the world.
It definitely does. And it makes me think about how reviewers consistently highlight not just the humor and adventure, but also the heart of the story.
Yeah.
Genevieve Cockliff, another parent who read the book with her family, mentioned that, well, it's aimed at kids 5 to 12.
Right.
They, as parents, really enjoyed it too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right.
It suggests that Flinders has that, cross-generational appeal, that it's a book that families can enjoy together.
Exactly.
And it can spark those conversations.
Yeah.
Shared moments of laughter.
And that's a wonderful thing to consider. It's not just a book for kids. It's an experience for the whole family.
Yeah, it sounds like the creators of Flinders have really thought this through.
They have.
And addressed so many of the pain points that parents face when choosing books.
They have. And you know what's really fascinating is that our reviewers come from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Different ages, locations, backgrounds, yet they're all finding something to love in this book.
You know, that speaks to the universal appeal of the story.
Right.
It's tacking into those fundamental things that draw us to stories, regardless of our age or background.
Exactly.
Humor,
Yeah.
heart, and a sense of wonder.
Exactly. And it's achieving that while addressing many of the things that parents are looking for
Right.
in a children's book, like appropriate content, engaging storylines, and, you know, even sneaking in a little bit of learning.
Yeah, it sounds like that perfect blend of entertainment and education.
It is.
But let's dive deeper into the story itself.
Okay.
What makes Flinders such a compelling read for young audiences?
So that's what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive.
Oh.
We'll unpack the plot, delve into the characters,
Yeah.
and explore those real-world connections that make this book so special. So stay tuned.
So you know what's really fascinating about Flinders the Reluctant Hero?
What's that?
It's how it takes this classic story element,
Yeah.
you know, this yearning for something more,
Mhm.
and applies it to a guinea pig
Right.
stuck in a pet shop.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we first meet Flinders, although he isn't called Flinders yet,
Right.
at Lily's Pet Emporium. And
Yep.
he's watching puppies go off on all these adventures and, you know,
Yeah.
feel a little bit sorry for himself.
No.
He's special,
Yeah.
at least according to this cage label.
Right.
But then enters Sandy,
Okay.
who not only chooses him, but gives him a name that hints at the adventures to come.
Oh.
Flinders. After the explorer, Matthew Flinders.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love that detail because it immediately sets the stage
Right.
for the journey that Flinders is about to embark on.
Yeah.
Both literally and figuratively. And of course, you know, it connects back to the book's subtle way of weaving in that real world
So
learning.
not just a cute name.
Right.
It's foreshadowing how the book is going to introduce these kids to history, geography, even sailing terminology,
Yes.
all in a way that feels completely natural.
Exactly. And speaking of sailing,
Okay.
this is where Flinders' fear of water comes into play.
Uh-huh.
So he's suddenly thrust into this world of boats and waves,
Right.
which is hilarious,
Yeah.
given that he's a guinea pig.
Yeah, of course.
But it's also something that so many kids, I think, can relate to,
For sure.
right? Having these fears.
It's a brilliant way to add humor, but also make Flinders relatable,
Exactly.
you know, to
Yeah.
young readers who may have their own fears.
Yeah, and it creates this like dramatic tension
Yeah.
that builds throughout the whole story.
Absolutely. Remember that scene where Flinders accidentally falls overboard during a storm?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That was heart-stopping.
I know, and it really highlights the dangers of life at sea.
Yeah.
But it also shows Flinders' resilience.
Mm-hmm.
He uses his instincts and what he's learned from Sandy about boat safety to survive.
You mentioned the safety lessons.
Yeah.
And, you know, this ties into what we were talking about earlier about the book cleverly integrating real-world knowledge.
Yes.
It's not just about Flinders learning to survive at sea.
Right.
It's about him learning the parts of a boat.
Yeah.
Navigation.
Right.
Even the importance of being prepared for emergencies.
Yes, and it does it in such a way that you don't even realize you're learning.
Exactly. They've taken these potentially, you know, dry topics
Right.
and woven them into this narrative so seamlessly
Yeah.
that kids are absorbing all this information without even realizing that they're learning.
It's like sneaking vegetables into a smoothie.
Exactly. And it's not just in the book itself.
Right.
The Flinders fan club takes this a step further
Yeah.
by offering, you know, printables and activities that encourage kids to really explore these topics in more depth.
It's a perfect way to extend that learning experience.
Yes.
And keep those young minds engaged.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the central mystery
Oh, yes.
that drives the plot.
The stolen turtles.
Yes, the case of the stolen turtles.
Dun, dun, dun.
This isn't just a plot device.
Right.
You know, it's a chance for Flinders to really use his newfound skills and knowledge
Yes.
to make a difference.
Right. It shows kids that reading isn't just this passive activity.
Yeah,
It can be a tool to understand and impact the world around them.
exactly. And we see this, you know, with Flinders piecing together clues
Yes.
from a newspaper article,
Huh?
demonstrating the importance of observation,
Yeah.
critical thinking.
And this is where his inability to speak human
Right.
becomes such a crucial part of the plot.
It's true, because Flinders has to find these creative ways
Right.
to communicate with Sandy and warn her about the danger.
Which leads to some of the most hilarious scenes in the book.
I remember his interpretive dance when he was trying to act out the turtle theft.
Oh my gosh, so good.
It's brilliant.
I know.
It's funny.
Yes.
But it also speaks to Flinders' determination and his resourcefulness.
Yeah.
He's not giving up,
Right.
even when, his efforts are met with confusion rather than understanding.
Totally. And ultimately, it's his determination,
Yeah.
coupled with his newfound reading skills, that allows him to solve this mystery.
Right.
He learns the name of the turtle thieves trawler, the Norse. And that becomes the key to cracking the case.
And this is where the book turns into this mini detective story,
Yeah.
encouraging the kids to think deductively and put the pieces together alongside Flinders.
Right. And it all culminates in this really exciting climax.
Yes.
Where Flinders, despite his size and his fear,
Right.
plays a pivotal role in bringing these criminals to justice.
Such a powerful message
Right.
for young readers.
Yeah.
That you don't have to be big and strong to be a hero.
Yeah.
Sometimes courage and intelligence are the greatest superpower of all. I love that.
But it's not all, serious and suspenseful.
Right.
It keeps that lighthearted tone.
Yes.
And that humor throughout.
Yeah, it strikes that perfect balance
Yes.
between keeping those young readers entertained while also challenging them to think critically
Exactly.
and engage with the story on a deeper level.
I think that is what makes Flinders the Reluctant Hero so special.
Yes.
It's a delightful adventure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sneaky learning experience.
Yes.
And a really heartwarming story about the power of friendship,
Yeah.
courage, and a little bit of guinea pig ingenuity.
I love that.
Mhm.
But let's dive into
Okay.
what lasting impact this book can have on young readers. You know what really struck me about Flinders the Reluctant Hero?
What's that?
It's how it redefines what it means to be a hero.
It's true. We're so used to seeing heroes
Right.
as these larger-than-life figures
Yeah.
with superpowers and capes.
Yes.
But Flinders shows us that heroism can be quiet,
Yeah.
even unexpected.
Exactly.
It's about using your unique strengths and intelligence to overcome challenges and make a difference, even if you're small
Right.
and a little bit scared.
And that is such an important message for young readers,
Right.
especially those who may not see themselves as the hero type.
Yeah.
Flinders demonstrates that anyone can be a hero,
Right.
regardless of their size
Yes.
or perceived weaknesses.
And it's not just about Flinders himself.
Right.
It's that he inspires those around him,
Yeah.
like Sandy, to tap into their own courage and resourcefulness.
Right, like that ripple effect.
Yes.
One act of bravery
Yeah.
can inspire others to step up
Right.
and do what's right.
And that ripple effect extends beyond the pages of the book.
It does.
So many reviewers mention how Flinders sparked their own curiosity about the topics in the story.
Yeah.
Sailing geography, indigenous Australian culture.
It's a testament to the book's ability to engage readers on multiple levels.
Yeah.
It's not just a fun story.
Right.
It's a gateway to a wider world
Yeah.
of knowledge and exploration.
And you mentioned wanting a book that encourages critical thinking.
Yes.
Well, Flinders does that in a really subtle but effective way.
Yeah.
It's not just about solving the mystery.
Right.
It's about how Flinders approaches problems.
Uh-huh.
He gathers information, he analyzes the clues, and uses his deductions
Right.
to figure things out.
He is a model for young readers.
Right.
Demonstrating the importance of observation, analysis, and
Yeah.
questioning assumptions.
And he doesn't always get it right on the first try.
That's right.
Right. He faces setbacks.
Mhm.
His ideas are sometimes dismissed,
Mhm.
but he never gives up.
That resilience, that
Yeah.
determination to keep trying even when things are tough,
Yes.
that is such a valuable lesson
Yeah.
for kids to learn.
And it's not always easy.
No, it's not.
Kids are constantly facing challenges in school with friends or just, navigating the complexities of growing up. Flinders shows them that it's okay to struggle,
Yeah.
to make mistakes, but that with perseverance
Right.
and a little ingenuity,
Yeah.
they can overcome those obstacles.
I love that.
And he also highlights the importance of communication.
Yes.
Especially when faced with a challenge like not being able to speak the same language
Right.
as the humans around him.
Such a clever plot device
right.
because it forces Flinders to think outside the box.
Right.
He has to be creative,
Yes.
observant,
So-
and ultimately find a way to communicate despite these barriers.
And it's a great reminder for kids.
Yeah.
And adults for that matter.
Uh-huh.
That communication is more than just words.
It is.
It's about understanding empathy and finding ways to connect with others even when it seems impossible.
Especially in a world where communication can often feel rushed
Right.
or superficial.
Exactly. So to bring this all back to you, the listener,
Yeah.
if you're looking for a book that will not only entertain, but also educate and inspire the young reader in your life, Flinders the Reluctant Hero is definitely worth checking out.
It's a delightful blend of adventure,
Yes.
humor, and heart, with those subtle but important messages about courage,
Right.
resilience, and the power of critical thinking.
And with the free Flinders Fan Club,
Yes.
the learning and fun can continue long after the book is closed.
That's right.
It's like having a whole world of exploration at your fingertips.
And it all starts with a visit to flindersbooks.com.
Yes.
That's where you can find Flinders the Reluctant Hero and embark on this wonderful journey with your young reader.
I love that. So as we wrap up our deep dive, here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
The story emphasizes observation and problem solving. What if, after reading Flinders with your child, you encourage them to look for ways to use their own unique skills to make a difference in their world?
What a wonderful challenge. Right. To empower young readers to see themselves as agents of change, to recognize that they have the power to make a positive impact.
Yes.
No matter how small
Yes.
or reluctant they might feel.
Exactly. Maybe Flinders can inspire a whole new generation of reluctant heroes ready to tackle real-life challenges with creativity and kindness and that same sense of adventure that makes this book so captivating.
So until next time, keep diving deep into those stories that spark curiosity and ignite the imagination.
Happy reading, everyone.